Aline, no, it's like this. You goddamn loon. Why does it look like it's coming this way? Darkness.
Yeah, can we focus?
Hello.
The darkness.
Can you look at me like Sandra D?
Hi you guys and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi. I'm Aline.
And I'm Michelle.
And we are two sisters living together in New York City.
Big Apple, baby.
Actually in Brooklyn, but it's pretty close.
40-minute train ride away. Any of you newcomers out there, hopefully there are a few of you. I work in social media marketing for a beauty brand and then also do YouTube and content creating things on the side.
And I am an aspiring actor, comedian, and writer. And I also work at a restaurant, so I do that too, as well as YouTube and content creation.
All the creative things.
All the things. We just like
Too
making
sad.
things.
Also, please excuse the fluctuating lighting throughout this video. We are just using natural light because we think it looks arty. So hopefully you enjoy it.
But turns out the arty comes at a cost, and that's inconsistency, and frankly, it's a real bitch.
We thought that the only way of coming back in the new year was to create a little sit-down, chit-chat video for the most loyal viewers, because I have a feeling that this video will only be viewed by the truest Michelle and Aline stans. We really do enjoy talking about like goals and resolutions. I feel like we really are obsessed with sipping that New Year's resolution Kool-Aid.
I disagree. I think that we are two people who are obsessed with self-improvement all year round. I think that you and I just love New Year's resolutions because it fits into this idea of, wow, it's a whole new year.
Yeah, it's a true fresh start, I think,
yeah.
which just makes planning goals and resolutions that much more exciting. We're excited to get into talking about our goals today, our resolutions, whatever word you want to call it. My list is really long,
and my list is not completed. So
that says a lot about us.
Who we are.
I do think that it's important to not try to just like change yourself completely as a person, because that's not realistic and also not good, because there's only one you that is you, and you should embrace that.
The best place to start is you. You know?
Wow,
And
inspiring.
pretty right.
Anyway, I think it would be cool to start off with, I've seen a lot of people doing this on the internet, where they talk about their word for the year.
Damn it, you told me.
Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. So basically, if you aren't familiar, a lot of people instead of resolutions choose a word for the year, which basically is like their one goal or their theme or their focus for the year ahead. My word, I would say, for 2020 is going to be intention. I just want to be a lot more intentional with the moves that I'm making in my career, in my personal life, in my friendships, and I feel like I've been living kind of passively and just been along for the ride in my own life. So I just want to make sure that I'm nipping that in the bud, and I want to be less passive and more intentional about everything that I'm doing in my life. If you had to pick, what would you say your main focus
Well, there you just said it, Michelle. There you just said it right in that sentence there.
Oh, damn.
I think that if I had to pick a word for this year, I would say my word is focus. I tend to be a pretty scattered, fly by the seat of my pants person, and I think that'll always innately be who I am. I will always be a procrastinator, but I want to be smarter about the ways that I procrastinate, and I truly want to waste less time.
I truly want to waste time. And I truly want to waste my time in 2020.
Now that I'm really past my transitional phase of living in New York, I did move here in May, I think I'm really ready now to figure out how to use my time efficiently and also honor the things that I love to do truly and fully.
Do you have a mantra that you want to live by?
Do I have a mantra?
Okay, if you had to choose a mantra for this year, what would it be? You can literally just invent it or give me a quote.
There's one that I heard the other day and I was like, I'll remember it, and I didn't write it down. I was like obsessed with the wording.
That's a great story.
Shut up.
Well, I have one.
Okay, how about you go?
Mine is very simple. It's just create the life you want to live, and I think that's very poignant, and it goes back to my living intentionally thing. I feel like I have been a little bit like passive,
You
and
certainly have
given
the
up
most
on
passive.
a few things that I had wanted to accomplish, and have been really lost with like my goals, and have had to come back to the drawing board with what I want my life to look like. And I think that we forget that we have so much power to just control and change and just create the type of life we want to live, the type of career we want to live, the type of person we want to be.
I have my mantra.
You go then.
I want to put out there, live bravely. I personally think that I have really started to live in fear of a lot of things.
You have.
I want to take more ownership and pride in the stuff that I create and the stuff that I want to do, and not apologize for not only my actions, but myself. I want to take more ownership and pride in the stuff that I create and the stuff that I want to do, and not apologize for not only my actions, but myself.
Live unapologetically. We're going on to our resolutions, and we're going to talk about personal and professional here, people.
Look at this cute sock. Look how cute this sock is.
I love it.
Look at it. You guys don't see it. And we're back. So sorry the camera did die. So we took a breather to charge it and regroup. We actually wrote down more goals, so it should be more focused and refined.
Yeah, also the lighting should be more consistent now that it is literally sunset.
It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So my first professional goal for the year, professional goal / resolution, is to relaunch my website. I had been trying to do the fashion blogger thing for years and years and years, and it just never really worked. It never was something that I was inspired and motivated to do. It just wasn't a very natural fit, and I think it's okay to accept that you don't have to do everything. You can just pick and choose like a couple things to focus your time and energy on.
I think that there is something to be said that people put a lot of pressure on themselves to do the things they think they should be doing, as opposed to things that make sense and they actually feel drawn to do.
I know, and I just much rather would focus my time and energy on areas where I actually have an audience, for example, like YouTube, and I'd rather just beef up my Instagram presence instead. I think that the whole Instagram blogging thing is actually quite valuable, I think, to creators. I'd rather just like do more quality work than quantity, but at the same time I want to relaunch my website to be kind of a portfolio of my work as a creative marketer and writer, photographer, all my like videographer stuff that I've done for like clients and companies that I've worked for. I think it would be a really great asset to myself and just makes sense for where my career is headed. So I'd love to like relaunch that as a professional website instead of a blog, but also have maybe like a little blog section if I ever do want to like write more long form content. And yeah, that's definitely one of my professional goals for the year, is just to like spruce that up and stuff.
Nice. First professional goal. It's kind of odd because my professional goals are kind of a hybrid of my acting, my comedy, my YouTube, my writing. I do have part-time jobs here in the city so that I can live under that banner. It's just a lot under there. So my first professional goal is to get into the academy at UCB. For those of you who've been following for a minute since I've gotten here, you know that I've taken improv and I've taken sketch. Right now I'm feeling very pulled towards the sketch track. I have fallen in love again with writing. That's what I want to do. I want to get into the academy at UCB just so that I continue my education and meet more people who are at the same place I am in terms of comedy and writing and performing. And yeah, I'm just gonna say this, one of my long-term goals, or something that I'm really interested in, like so many people, would be to be cast on SNL or to write for SNL at some point in my career. And UCB works hand in hand with them a lot of the time. So
my next professional goal is to start taking on clients for content creation, social media marketing, any sort of like photo, video, copywriting needs. I definitely see my career headed in that direction, so that's something that I want to focus my time and energy on this year.
I want to start a savings account. That's kind of where I'm at. I have absolutely no money in a savings account. Just kidding, I don't have one. It actually disappeared because it went so long without having any money in it, which I didn't know could happen, but apparently it can. Yeah, just want to make more money this year.
I think that becoming more financially independent is absolutely one of my professional goals. Hopefully I get a raise at work soon. I am due for one, so hopefully that happens. I never know where to put like YouTube stuff, whether that's in professional or personal, because it's such a like passion project of ours, but I would love to really start taking that seriously as well. Just diversifying my streams of income and just becoming more of an adult financially, and just I don't know, just focusing on becoming more financially independent and stable, because New York is so expensive, and yeah,
grown-ups.
we need to crack down on that this year.
I want to write a play this year. As I said, I've really fallen back in love with writing. I think that I get frustrated sometimes with the boxes that you have to put yourself in, so I'm really interested in writing a play and having myself be in it, whether that's a one-woman show, a one-act, or I don't know what kind of production, but I really want to write a play. That's all. The end.
Love that for you.
Yeah. We also have a personal professional project that we're working on together, which is going to be incredibly exciting.
We're really excited.
It will be happening this year, probably summertime. We'll keep you in the loop. You guys should be really excited. We're so excited.
Taking our YouTube channel to maybe a different kind of platform.
Okay, stop.
Something that
stop it. You're gonna spoil it. You're gonna spoil it. You're spoiling so hard.
We're hoping 2020, summer of 2020 will be the year that this finally happens.
Okay, well, professional goals, I'm just going to rattle through them because Michelle's done with hers and I don't want to talk the entire video. So professional goals, I also want to make a short film or several that may or may not be already in the works, but I don't want to spoil it or talk about it, but things are happening. Anyway, I also want to get new headshots. It's been something I've been talking about for a long time. I want to get those. I want to do stand-up 3 times a week at least. It should be more. It should be more. I want to stress that, but I'm also working towards maybe figuring out a job situation that allows me to have more nights off, so stay tuned. Writing samples, exclamation point. I want to have them. I want to be able to apply for different writing jobs around the city, whether that be freelance, whether that be TV, commercial, I don't know. I just want to be able to have a portfolio of work. I want to be aggressive when making creative friendships.
So like networking.
Yeah, I want to be better at networking and reach out to people that I admire and not be like, I am going to assume that they hate me and they don't want to hear from me, so I'm not going to say anything, which I do often. Also, I want to do more professional check-ins. I guess this could also be under the personal banner, but I want to check in with myself way more often.
I think monthly would be good.
Yeah, about staying on top of the things that I need to get done, breaking things down into smaller, more achievable goals.
I think it's really hard because like life really comes at you fast, and like once you graduate, you're like, whoa, like it's been a whole year or 3 or 4 or 5 years and I haven't done XYZ. You realize that you are responsible for you and no one else is, and it's really hard to navigate.
Really, really difficult.
Are we moving on to personal then? I think that's a good time. So a lot of my professional and personal goals go hand in hand. I didn't know where to put some things, so just keep that in mind because I feel like Aline had a lot more professional goals than
You're a slacker.
Yeah.
I think that also at this point in your career, you can't speak to a lot of the development that's happening because sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah.
And B,
so I ultimately want to be using my time more wisely. I want to waste less time.
Always.
Because I feel like both of us really struggle with this where we just don't use our time wisely. Like, for example, this video was really important for us to film, yet we still kind of like left it to the last minute. Now the light's changing. Like, we didn't estimate correctly how much time we would need.
This is what happened. We were actually supposed to film 2 videos today. 2. We were all supposed to go to yoga, and instead we didn't film the second video and we didn't go to yoga because
we just watched YouTube videos.
We just watched YouTube videos and ate oatmeal like all morning.
This weird self-sabotaging behavior that I just really don't like. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing that less. I'm being less half-assed, less mediocre. I just don't want to do that anymore. It's just so stupid. I don't know how to fix it, but I think that just being aware of it and checking in and like making sure I'm scheduling out my day better. Yeah, stay tuned. I'm still figuring it out.
I'm still stumped. Okay, well actually, I'm changing one of my first goals. I'm changing it right now. I want to be kinder to myself this new year.
Yeah, no shit.
I realized that I didn't even have that on there, which I think speaks largely to the problem at hand. I think that at some point during my life, I almost found this loophole in not doing the things that I wanted to do or making mistakes. It's to just beat myself up about things really, really harshly. I am so mean to myself. It's astounding. Like, I don't want anybody to ever be in my head because the way that I talk to myself is really, really cruel. And I think it's gotten worse in the last year, like by a lot. And I think it is why I've now begun to live such a fearful life, is because I'm almost scared of the reprimanding I'm gonna get in my head, which is just kind of fucked up.
Horrible.
Yeah, that's not great.
Just straight up terrible.
So I want to do that list. I think honestly, organization is going to help. I think that if I am just more precise and take more time to do the things I want to do as opposed to squeezing them in or rushing to accomplish them,
Yeah.
that'll allow me to give myself more grace and to, I don't know, to not punish myself so fucking much. That's all.
Alongside my living more intentionally, I have another bullet point that says to use my commute more productively. My commute is a huge like sore spot for me. It's something that I don't really enjoy in my routine. It's like 45 minutes to 50. It's really not that bad, but I feel like that is time that is being wasted. I usually just listen to music and stare into space, which is sometimes a nice meditative practice. However, let's be honest, most of the time it's just a waste. I would love to be able to incorporate things like reading and journaling and maybe like writing captions for future Instagram posts, or just like doing more productive work and doing things that I want to implement more into my routine during my commute, because I have that time. It's almost 2 hours a day that I'm just sitting there, although sometimes I am standing a lot. I will be real, it's not as easy as a 1-2 sit.
Would you sit?
So,
Okay, is that my mantra?
but I think that there's definitely more room for improvement as far as my productive commute goes.
This is gonna sound psychotic. I don't mean it to. So my next goal is prioritize people and friendship more. I am definitely introverted and I tend to be very, I don't know, evasive in terms of friendship. And that being said, I don't want to have a million friends. I never wanted to have a million friends. I don't like having a million friends. And I think that when you have a million friends, that means you can't be a very good friend to your millions of friends.
I don't know how people
because
do
your
it.
brain is in like 60 different places and you're investing in like a million different people. And I don't want to do that.
You want to prioritize your current friendships more, you want to reach out to new people more.
Gosh, see, even she has to tell me. Whoops, camera died again, the camera got full. So basically this is a all-day affair, a day in my life, filming this video.
This is just an example of all the things we need to get better at. You were on your friendships thing? Did you finish that thought?
I guess so. I want to be okay making more friends, which sounds weird, but that's truly something I need to tell myself. And I want to be a better friend to my existing friends, because we can always work to be better friends to the people who are kind and loving and generous with their time and affections with us. So
Love that.
the end.
That's a good one. I want to scroll less and create more. So last year, I think that I did a really good job at getting back into art again, especially in the beginning of the year when I was unemployed. I just became more comfortable drawing and painting and doing all that jazz. I did my first like art commission, which was really exciting. But then for the rest of the year, I kind of like dropped that because I was more concerned about being financially stable, which, you know, fair. But I do want to stop making excuses and just create more. It's something that brings me so much joy, and a lot of what I do creatively involves my appearance these days, which can get a little toxic, like with YouTube and with like taking pictures and Instagram and all that stuff. A lot of it involves the way I look, and it can get really overwhelming for that to be like your entire identity creatively.
Totally.
So art for me is that creative outlet that doesn't involve my appearance whatsoever, and I really love it. So I'm really excited to just scroll less on social media and just create more cool things.
I want to try to read a book a month, which is a little big goal.
Yeah, that's one of my goals as well. So 12 books this year, hopefully. It's not that much. It's like barely anything. When you like compare it to like bookstagrammers and people who like read hundreds of books in a year.
Even like the idea of reading 20 books in a year, I'm like, which is something I know I used to do when I was in middle school. Read before bed, read on the train. I'm on the bus so much. What the hell am I doing with my time?
I don't know. Agreed.
This next one is one that we
Another
share.
joint one.
Yeah.
Another joint one. We did the book one, and now we're doing another joint one. Isn't that fun? We want to date more.
Woo! Spicy.
I hate us. For real, I had such a, I was just so low-key thirsty in the beginning of the year.
You were a desperate, desperate bitch.
I finally got the thing in your brain changed that turns you into a desperate, rom-com sad sack into like a normal person that can go on a date without planning their wedding. I think I finally switched whatever gear in my brain to like actually just go and date for fun. So I'm really proud about that. However, I just think I lost any sort of standards and gave some people like so many chances and just like didn't treat my heart or my body very well as far as like what I put up with. And then Aline moved here and I just stopped dating whatsoever because I was like, wow, I'm fulfilled. A little sidekick with me at all times, which is great.
Yeah.
Because I stopped just like making poor dating choices.
Well, because poor dating choices, I think, ultimately are always made because you are lonely.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Likewise, with Michelle, my story is similar and yet also different. We all know, because I've spoken about this multiple times and also have a whole video dedicated on it, which is I was in a relationship at the beginning of this year. My life turned upside down when they were like, no, I do not love you. I was destroyed, literally. But plot twist, I have never talked about this online. I actually was in a situationship, I think right afterwards, probably a month afterwards, and that spanned a great deal of time. And by great deal of time, I mean like probably a couple months, and then I moved here. So, long story short, I was involved with several people.
Very toxic relationship.
Not great.
Both literally treated you like garbage, so that's something that needs to be said.
Something about me. And now that I have wholly recovered from those situations and spent a lot of uncomfortable time by myself, I realized that I've been avoiding dating because it's been making me very scared and nervous. And for a long time, I was like, I genuinely had no interest,
and which I think is good.
Which
it's
is positive.
Like, you put so much prioritization on those relationships and not on yourself for a really long time, and I think it's so necessary to let yourself heal fully.
It's so easy to trick yourself into thinking that you're fine when you're involved with another person. You're like, it's cool because you're having that adrenaline that is actively acting as a band-aid.
Exactly.
So it's really important to just sit with yourself and be like, and not try to fill that void with anybody new, which I haven't, and it's been great. And honestly, thank God I took all that time. All of that time was so necessary. And now I just want to get back out there a little bit.
It's really hard to make that time for dating, and I would honestly always rather hang out with you or with my friends, and it's like, it's hard because we're all so busy, so it's just really hard to make time for people. But I think that at the end of the day, like, you can make time for it, and it doesn't have to be constant. Once every other week,
truly,
or like a couple times a month, like go on a date, meet someone new, and at the end of the day,
it doesn't have to lead anywhere.
Yeah,
it's like
just
my goal for 2020 is not get into a relationship. No. I genuinely couldn't care less if I got into a relationship or not. I just wanted to remind myself that I can get ready for a day and go out and like have a drink with somebody, and that's something that I can do.
I want to work on my self-love and insecurities. I feel like I have grown a lot in the last like month or so. I went through like just like a really...
You cried a lot.
I just went through a lot
of shit.
I don't even know where to start. To be frank,
when
I moved to New York, I gained weight and then I cut off all my hair. And then I felt so bad about myself and the way that I looked for like a full year. And now that my hair is beautiful,
your hair is beautiful,
I do feel better, but then I find myself focusing on new things, like picking apart my body or my face or like different parts of my personality. What is this?
That's Frozen 2, the trailer on Instagram.
Whoops! Camera died! Stop telling them! The camera didn't die also.
The camera got full and we had to change the card.
Basically, we just want to get our shit together in 2020. I think that's the main theme.
This is a literal physical example of
how scattered we are
to be. I think, is the book showing up at the bottom? What is that white line?
Oh.
I think that line has always been there, no? So now you just made me do this fun game. Why'd you make me do that?
I'm so sorry. I will make you a grand meatloaf.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. I have...
What are you talking about?
I was talking about insecurity.
Oh, well done.
I can be very critical of myself, very insecure, and yeah, just like not speak very kindly to myself. I'm very hard on myself.
And you're also think it's very confusing because it just sometimes comes out of nowhere where I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's easy to be like, I would like to have better self-esteem, but like, how do you go about that? Like, is it just by like changing the way that you like speak about yourself? Is it, I don't know. I'm still working it out, but
Dax Shepard on his podcast and also my therapist have talked about these things. For instance, I had a lot of dissociative episodes at the beginning of this year, which I'll talk about sometime. But basically, I felt like completely lost and I did not know how to feel good about myself and I didn't know how to get that back. And it's through these things called, what are they?
affirmations?
No, it's not from affirmations. Affirmations, I feel like sometimes are bullshit. It's something with value. Core value work or something like that. It's like core value work. Dax Shepard calls them esteemable acts. It's things that you do that make you feel good about yourself. Look at what you've always been good at. Look at the stuff you've always gravitated towards, because those are directly tied to your self-worth. Specifically, like your past as a person, and put time and effort into doing things in those areas, and it will make you feel better because you're good at those things. Something that you've always done, something that you associate your identity with. Is basically to remind yourself of who you are through action, because it's so much more tangible than words, which are just in the air.
That's so true. I feel like my lifestyle has been so bad for good self-esteem because all I do is burn myself out at work, come home, watch TV, go to sleep.
Yeah, and that's not gonna make you feel good about who you are.
Yeah, how is it? I feel a lot better now, so don't go feeling bad for me. But I do struggle a lot with like self-love and self-esteem. I feel better after coming back from Montana, but I want to carry that into the new year and just, I don't know, not feel like shit about myself all the time.
Well, I think with you just need to work on consistency, as do I. But like in terms of like your insecurity, I think that, well, I literally have waves like this where I feel amazing and then feel trash. But I don't feel like you're here a lot. It just happens a little too often.
Agreed. Agreed.
Oh, I think that everyone probably always has this on their list, which is just to be more balanced and to be more healthy. I'm not attaching any numeric goals, like not necessarily like, I want to lose this amount of weight. But mostly we're going to be more intentional about eating plant-based. We're going to be more intentional about eating plant-based in our house. It's just something that we want to try.
Yeah, and I feel like it really is conducive to our lifestyle and the foods that we already eat and recipes that we already make. But also, like, I just wanted to say, like, the whole like eating vegan thing, it's not just like for like losing weight or like wanting to be healthy or like these foods are good, these foods are bad. We're never gonna be fully vegan. You all know we love Shake Shack and pizza like at the end of the day, but I don't know, I struggle a lot with like really bad digestion, and I think that eating more like plant-based might help.
It's also great for the environment.
Yeah,
it's
great
so
for the
good for the environment. You literally cannot argue with the evidence that veganism is so good for the planet.
At the end of the day, I feel better about myself and just better as a whole energy-wise when I'm eating well-ish and also working out. So I don't think
it's an act of love. That's the thing, it's an act of love. Eating a piece of cake can be an act of love too. Like people,
for sure.
I think people get caught up in one extreme and the other, where it's really like you should want to take care of yourself because you care about yourself, and you should want to treat yourself because you are worthy of being treated. You want to have a combination of the two, because either extreme is actually a form of control and a form of, I think, neglect or punishment.
Oh, very well said.
Thanks.
Very well said. Eating wise and fitness wise, I'm really proud of the strides that I've made, and it's something that I genuinely enjoy incorporating into my routine, and I just want to keep being more consistent and carry that in with 2020.
My last one is to be curious, and that's all. Like to try new things and step out of my comfort zone. Not in the dumb like go rock climbing way, which sounds fun. Just to be more curious. I'm not an old woman. I don't need to be so stuck in my routine and habits all the time.
Yeah, my final resolution is less wallowing and more action. Because I sometimes turn into a sniveling little bitch and then don't do anything to change my situation, and I'm just like, and that's the way it is. Que sera, sera.
Oh God, I know. I do that too sometimes. We all do. It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
We can convince ourselves that we are powerless.
Yeah.
Oh, this sucks, and it's so sad, and it's so hard, and it's blah 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 blah.
And then it's like, but oh well, and then you just like carry on your merry way. Okay, if you're like upset about something, like what can you do to fix it? What can you do to help your situation? What habits can you implement to change the the way you feel or alter the way you feel, or yeah, I just think that it's all about realizing that you do have the power to create the life you want to live. And with that, that is our New Year's resolutions video. Happy New Year, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below, what is your resolution for 2020?
Tell us, is anything in here resonating with you? Same, different? Let's talk. Let's chat. Also follow us on Instagram, and we'll catch you in the next vid. Love you lots. Happy 2020. I am not like Michelle. I did not prepare a word for this year per se. If I had to pick a word for last year, it would either be idiocy or dick. That was mostly for you, not them.
Idiocy or dick.
Oh my god, I'm screaming.